Right, my friend, let's go back, way back, to a Europe that didn't look anything like the tidy patchwork you see on your sat-nav today. No, this was an ocean of green. And I don't mean lots of trees, I mean endless, primeval forests. Your little clearing of smoke and thatch would have been like an island in a sea of oak and elm. Frazer, James George Frazer, clever bloke, wrote The Golden Bough in the 1800s, and he reckoned tree worship wasn't just a quaint little local custom. Oh no. Before the Romans even thought about paving roads, there was the Hercynian forest. Stretched east from the Rhine so far, Caesar's lads met Germans who'd marched through it for 2 months without reaching the other side. Here at home, the Wealds of Kent, Surrey, Sussex, just scraps now, were once part of the great forest of Anderida, smothering the whole southeast. Even in Henry II's day, Londoners could nip up to Hampstead Forest to hunt wild boar and bull. And in the Forest of Arden, they reckoned a squirrel could leap from tree to tree almost the whole length of Warwickshire without touching the ground. Try doing that now without ending up in someone's patio heater. And before Rome, northern Italy was swamped in forests, elm, chestnut, oak. Everywhere you went, there were sacred groves. Among the ancient Germans, common as corner shops. Uppsala in Sweden had a grove where every tree was divine. The Prussians had their great oak, kept under priestly guard with a perpetual oakwood fire. Even Rome, the centre of empire, still kept the sacred fig tree of Romulus in the Forum. When it withered, the whole city panicked as if the stock market had crashed. So why worship trees? Well, here's the thing, to what Frazer called the savage mind, the world was alive, everything had a soul, trees were no exception. In Onika, Eastern Africa, they believe every tree's got its spirit. Cut down a coconut tree and it's like killing your mother. It feeds you, keeps you alive. In old Germany, peasants used to marry their fruit trees at Christmas Eve, tie them together with straw ropes so they'd bear more fruit. Romantic, eh? And they swore the trees could feel pain. E. Wilde, Esquire, posh chap, said, when you felled an oak, it sometimes gave a proper shriek you could hear a mile off. In Austria, some folks wouldn't make a cut without cause, and they'd apologize to the tree first. Sometimes they thought trees held the souls of the dead. In southern Australia, certain tribes believed particular trees were their dead fathers, transformed. If you had to cut one, you'd better make amends. Sumatra, they'd plant a young sapling right on the stump, sprinkle betel and coins to say sorry for the trouble, and often sacrifice was needed. In Gilgit, goat's blood on the trunk before cutting. Romans, a pig to the grove god before thinning. Over time, the thinking shifted. Instead of every tree having its own soul, they became houses, lodgings for wandering deities. That's when tree spirits turned into forest gods. The Greeks and Romans gave them human shapes, nymphs, fauns, dryads. Still with the old powers, but now walking and talking. When Jerome of Prague tried to get the Lithuanians to fell their sacred groves, the women marched to the prince. You touch those trees, you'll lose your rain and your sun. Sometimes they dip a branch in water to make the spirit send rain. Sympathetic magic, just like drenching trees at European midsummer festivals. And here in Britain, the reverence for ancient trees didn't vanish, it just went quiet. Take the Fortingall Yew up in Perthshire. Possibly the oldest living thing in Europe, some say 5,000 years old. It's seen druids, Romans, clans, kings, and it's still there. And the royals, they've planted its saplings at Balmoral, Sandringham and other estates. Little green ambassadors of something far older than any crown. See, to them trees weren't just scenery, they were neighbours, landlords, guardians. They could bless you, curse you, feed you, starve you, and deep down, I reckon we still know it. Next time you walk through an ancient wood, notice how quiet you get without even trying. That's the old respect, still whispering.